This might surprise you, but most businesses never sell, and here is why. Did you know that only about 1 out of 10 businesses that go to market actually sell? That means 9 out of 10 do not. And I see this every single week, talking to owners who have been in it for 10, 20, sometimes 30 years, and they have no idea why buyers like me walk away. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 2 biggest reasons most businesses never sell: unrealistic valuation and fear of what's next, which all comes down to lack of preparation. And I will show you how, as a buyer, you can spot this early and even help educate sellers through the process. Hey, I am Nandor. I have built startups from scratch, scaled service companies to multiple 7 figures, and now I focus on buying them or helping owners exit the right way. Every week I talk to business owners who want to sell, and I can tell you this: most are not ready. Not because their business is bad, although which many of them are not good, but because they don't understand the process. And if you are a buyer, that means wasted time, wasted travel, wasted money, unless you know how to handle it. Here is what you need to understand: most owners only sell once in their lifetime. Think about it for a second. They've been building for 20 to 30 years, pouring everything into this business. On top of that, most business owners have 80% of their net worth tied into their business. This sale isn't just a transaction for them, it's their retirement, their identity, their legacy. So when you sit down with them, you're not just talking about numbers, you're talking about their life. And that's why most owners are not prepared. So this is the number 1 reason businesses do not sell. I cannot tell you how many times I have asked, so what are you looking to get for the business? And the owner says a number that's sometimes 5 times of their revenue or 10 times of their profit for a business that usually makes less than $5 million in revenue. Literally, I just had a pest control company reach out, doing about $5 million in revenue, $1 million in profit. And the owner wanted almost $15 million for it. And that deal will never happen. So I asked him, how did you even get to that number? And he told me, well, my broker did the valuation. But here's the kicker: his broker had never owned a business in his life. He only sold real estate. And if you didn't know, in most states, a real estate license is all you need to sell businesses to. So you got people pricing businesses the same way they price homes. And that's exactly why so many deals never sell. But the real problem: most owners value their business emotionally, not financially. They think revenue equals value. They think sweat equity equals value. But buyers don't pay for sweat. Buyers pay for businesses that are transferable, ones with systems, teams, and cash flow that doesn't disappear when the owner steps out. And the way that value gets measured: EBITDA. That's a number most buyers use to calculate what the business is actually worth on the market. So if you're a buyer, you have to be ready for this conversation. And if you're an owner, you need to get a real valuation, not a fantasy number from a broker who just wants a listing. Here's the part that nobody talks about. Even when the numbers that make sense, many deals die because the owner is terrified of what comes after the sale. Think about it. They've been running this business for 30 years. Their day, their week, their identity, it's all tied to this company. So when you ask, what's next for you? Most don't know. And that fear makes them freeze. I have had in-person meetings where everything lined up financially. But when we really talked, the owner admitted he wasn't ready. He didn't see what his life would look like without the business. And that's why planning early matters. Selling is not a one-day decision. The average sales takes about 9 to 12 months. Without a plan, fear takes over and the deal falls apart. So I will give you a real example. Just recently I spoke with an owner of a pool company that had been around for about 15 years. On the surface, it looks solid, close to about $3 million in revenue and a strong reputation. But when I started asking questions, he had no answers. He didn't know what his business was worth. He didn't know how much he actually wanted for it. He didn't know how soon he wanted to exit. And he didn't know what he would do afterwards. The only thing he could tell me was, one day I would like to retire. And that's it. And this is exactly why businesses like these might never sell. Owners think they will figure it out later. But when later comes, the lack of clarity kills the deals. It doesn't matter if you're making 3 million or 30 million. If you can answer the basic questions about why you're selling, when you want to exit, and what comes after, the business will simply never sell. So what do you do as a buyer? You cannot just look at the financials. You got to dig into the owner's mindset. Because if their head and heart aren't in the sale, the deal won't move forward. So here are 6 questions I always ask. First, why do you want to sell now? Are they motivated or are they just curious? Second, what do you see yourself doing after? If they can't answer this, they're probably not ready. Third, how much money would you need to feel comfortably retiring? This forces them to think in numbers, not dreams. Fourth, how does an ideal transition look like for you? Do they just want to get on a plane, move to Costa Rica, and never look back? Or do you want to stay on as an advisor for as long as possible? Fifth, what would your family think about you selling? Most of the times, spouses and kids often have more influence than they admit. And then sixth, what worries you the most about selling? That one question will uncover fears they are hiding. This is where you can build a lot more rapport than you think and understand their pain points. Now, most of the times, owners don't have a clear answer, and that's your signal. When that happens, you got two options. One, walk away and save yourself months of wasted time, money, and energy. Second, educate them. Have them understand the valuation, bring them value, have them think about life after the sale, build a relationship. So when they're ready, you are the first phone call. So here is the real takeaway. The biggest deal killers aren't just the financials. It's the owner's mindset. It's the unrealistic valuation. It's asking 10 times what the business is worth because no one ever gave them a real number. It's not knowing why they want to sell, and it's not knowing what they will do after. Lastly, it's not knowing how much they actually need to retire comfortably. And when those things are not clear, the deal will either fall through or never even get close. As a buyer, you cannot just look at financials. You have to read the person across the table, because if the owner isn't mentally and emotionally ready, no spreadsheet in the world is going to get the deal done. And that's why 9 out of 10 small businesses never sell. Thanks so much for watching. And if you're buying, building, or planning to sell, this channel is all about giving you the real playbooks I have learned in the past. Stick around, we got a lot more coming.